Hey, thanks for checking out the video, guys. The season's winding down, but when that happens, the intensity winds up. These last 2 weeks, the games are going to be really important, so we've got to tune in, focus, buckle down, and really concentrate. Do a great job these last couple of weeks. Prep well. We talked about this in our play bulletin that went out earlier in the week, so hope you got a chance to read that. If not, if you're not on our email list, I'll put my email up at the end of this video, and you can drop me an email and ask to be added to the list. We've got about 10 plays to take a look at in this week's video, and I've spoke a couple of times about the importance of watching video, and that's the topic this week in our Minute with Walt Coleman.
The purpose of these training videos is to show the philosophy on what is and what isn't a foul. It's important to watch yourself on video, to look at plays that other people are working. You know, watch college games, watch the NFL, watch how those people handle certain situations. Look at their mechanics, look at their positioning, look how wide they are. Look at how they work running plays. Look at how when the player comes toward them, they back straight up as opposed to getting out of the way too fast. It's unbelievable the amount of stuff that you can learn by just watching video. Not just yourself, but other people work. So what we're going to do with the video is to cover a few plays, take a look at some things just like we do every week. So let's quit talking and let's look at some plays.
Thank you, Walt. That's NFL referee 65 and Arkansas Association of High School Officials President Walt Coleman in our segment that we call A Minute with Walt Coleman. Good stuff. Let's take a look at some of these plays. Now, the first one we're going to show you about, I want to talk about a couple of things. First of all, the definition of a lineman. To be an interior lineman, look in Rule 2, you have to be facing your opponent's goal line. So it's important. Also want to point you to line of scrimmage philosophy number 5. Formation during the execution of trick or unusual plays have the highest degree of scrutiny and should be completely legal. That's found in our philosophies. If you haven't read that document, it's on the website, www.aahso.com. Click on the tab entitled Philosophies. Line of scrimmage is the first group, and it's number 5. Take a look at that. Now let's look at this play. We're going to run a swinging gate formation. This is a point after attempt. And watch the interior lineman here. Just fall straight to the ground like that. Now, let me back it up, because if you look at this, they never turn and face their opponent's goal line. So what we simply have here is a play where we have no one on the line of scrimmage. This is a foul, and we should have gotten this, guys. So make sure you understand. Be great Rule 2 officials. Know those definitions, and you'll know interior lineman must face his opponent's goal line. Lots of things to talk about here on this next play, and we're going to take a look at the first part of it here. And what I want to talk about is the neutral zone and expanding the neutral zones for passes that are in or beyond the neutral zone. Now, you know, the rules change a great deal based on whether the offense throws the ball behind or beyond the neutral zone. So when they're throwing these little bubble screens out into the flat, we want to expand the neutral zone 1 yard. So if they throw the ball into the neutral zone or they throw the ball 1 yard beyond the neutral zone, we want to call that behind the line of scrimmage. Okay, don't be too technical with this. So if we get a pass that's just less than a yard beyond the neutral zone, we have linemen or we have wide receivers blocking downfield, we don't want offensive pass interference called. So for purposes of forward pass, we're going to expand the neutral zone 1 yard when determining whether passes are beyond or behind the line of scrimmage. So in this play, what we've got is a couple things that we've got to worry about. First of all, we've got to worry about who is watching the line of scrimmage. Who is going to know whether a ball is thrown beyond or behind the line of scrimmage? And in a 5-man crew, that responsibility goes with the umpire. So when umpires see their tackles drop back in pass protection, it's important that they step up and begin to find the line of scrimmage. So you got to know where that line of scrimmage is, umpires. Know how many steps you got to go to get to it. You can't spin your head over and look at the box. You got to keep your eye focused on those center guards, but you have to know where that line of scrimmage is, because if we do have a pass that's thrown within a yard of the line of scrimmage, and the back judge may not have a perspective about where this ball is thrown, his key may come downfield and block. So he may actually throw up a flag for potential offensive pass interference, which is absolutely fine. You know, we want the back judge to know where the line of scrimmage is and to know where the ball's thrown. But if he sees his key come downfield and block, and then he sees a forward pass, he doesn't know where it is, he's got to throw. So he's going to be working offensive pass interference. So the umpire is going to have to come in and take him off of that. So you got to be involved in that conversation, umpires, when that back judge comes in and says, I have offensive pass interference. And this is not a big deal at all, referees. You're just going to make an announcement that we do not have offensive pass interference because the ball was thrown behind the line of scrimmage. So we're not going to be too technical about that line of scrimmage, guys. It's just a philosophy that we use. Expand the neutral zone 1 yard, makes it easier for us to officiate, and gives us an opportunity to be more consistent. So on this play, you can see here, hard to tell, but this is a third down play, which brings us up to another point. In our rules, in high school rules, offensive pass interference is a loss of down foul. So you see this box here has 3 on it. We're going to come back after we assess the penalty and go with third down again. So in college and in NFL, it's not a loss of down. So don't get confused when you watch TV, guys. In high school, this is a loss of down foul. So look at this, pretty tight around the line of scrimmage. I'm not going to make an opinion on that based on this video, but just want to have that conversation about umpires getting up to the line of scrimmage. And the whole crew working offensive and defensive pass interferences. Cover this in your pregame. Mechanically know how you're going to handle it, know who's going to be responsible for that line, and how we're going to communicate in the event that we have fouls that are potentially close to the line of scrimmage, and we need to know whether we're going to expand that zone. So good play to study, guys. Take a look at it and talk about it this week in your pregame. All right, on this next play, let's take a look at this wide receiver right here. He's going to move his foot. He's going to make an adjustment to his foot, and we're going to shut this play down as a false start. When we just move that foot and don't simulate the start of the play, we don't want to call those types of plays false starts. Now these are wideouts. We're not talking about interior linemen. We're talking about a wideout now. He's just going to move one foot, and we're going to give him a lot of leeway on that, as long as he doesn't simulate the start of the play. And this doesn't look like him simulating the start of the play to me, so we're going to let this one go. We do not want this called as a false start. I'm going to give you a little hint on this next play, just to the left of the line judge here at the bottom of the screen. You can't see him off camera, but the head coach is over there. And you see him turn his head right there? See the line judge? Now there's a second time. We've talked a lot about, in these videos, about how the line of scrimmage guys, you've got to find a spot, and I use the shoulder of the center. You've got to park your eyes. You've got to get your eyes still and focus when this snap is imminent, because through your peripheral vision, if your eyes are still, you're able to see people jump into the neutral zone, or you can see that flinch, false start. If you move your eyes, in this case he moves his whole head, it's going to take your brain 0.3 of a second to refocus, and at that time somebody can flinch and you're going to miss it. So you cannot let coaches or anyone on the sideline distract you when that snap is imminent. When that center gets his hands over the balls, you got to zero in on that action and focus on that. Watch this again here. You know, we turn our head here twice. Once there, and then again, you know, and the ball is snapped that second time. If somebody jumped in, you know, we're not going to know. We're going to have to guess, or we're going to miss it completely. So, guys, focus, concentrate. Find your spot to park your eyes. Get your eyes parked and leave them. Do not be distracted by things that happen on the sideline. Continuing with our theme of focus and concentration here, watch at the top of your screen here, the tackle there. Ooh, the defensive lineman jumps in there and blows him off. Don't you wish this could be all these could be this easy? I mean, look at that. Defense just jumps in there and bam. You're looking around, not really focused. You know, you can get that without even focusing. Or can you? Let's take a look from the end zone shot, and we're gonna give you a little better perspective. Here's the player that we want you to watch, this tackle right here. Watch that little flinch. Boom, right there, that hand flinch pops up. He simulates the start of the play. That's a false start. The defense, guys, I would certainly want to have a conversation with this guy. He doesn't have to go in here and blow him up because he false starts, flinch like that. There's obviously the ball hasn't been snapped. That's a foul on the offense. But I'd have a conversation with that defensive tackle and say, hey, guy, you know, yeah, you can go in, you can jump in the neutral zone and you can touch him, and we know that he false started. We'll get him. There's no reason here for you to blow this player up. But because we don't focus and concentrate right here, guys, we actually call a defense offside on this play. Incorrectly called. This is a false start on the offense. Again, focus and concentrate. Park your eyes. You'll catch these flinches, and then you'll begin to separate yourself from other guys working the line of scrimmage. Heads up, back judges. We've got a 5-receiver set, empty backfield. You know, lots of stuff's fixing to come at you. Ball snapped at about the 26-yard line, so we certainly need to be thinking about protecting that in line. And here we've got this play, bang, right on top of the back judge. He's actually running down the field with the receivers. When you do this, guys, this is really, really tough to officiate this in line. What we want you to do is be thinking about protecting that inline before the ball is snapped. And we want you stationary on this inline, straddling the line, stopped, standing still, ready to officiate this play. Because this is a big time play right here. Falls in your lap and you're running. You know, very, very difficult to get a perspective. Again, you need to be stationary on the inline, standing still. Here's another problem. That pylon needs to be at least 3 feet off the inline so that you can stop on that inline and officiate from sideline to sideline and have a clear vision of that inline without anything obstructing your view. So, got to get to the inline, back judges, and protect that. That's all you. No help from the wing officials on that play. Let's take a look at this play here. This is just going to be a power sweep here to the left side, right at the line judge. And across the goal line right there at the top of the numbers. And we got the ball snapped at about the 3-yard line. This is the PAT from that previous play we called a touchdown on. And what I want you to point out here is the mechanics of the line judge. Let's look at his position. He's right here on the goal line with his only mechanic being straight back if this pylon were threatened. And he is in perfect position. And we talk about this play from the 7-yard line and in. As soon as the ball is snapped, we want you going all the way to the pylon. Unless the line to gain is between the 7-yard line and the goal line and it's 3rd or 4th down, then you can stop at the line to gain. But any other time, move all the way to the goal line, be ahead of the ball. As soon as the ball is snapped, shuffle all the way to the goal line, set up, be stationary, standing still, officiating the goal line, just like this official. This is perfect position for a goal line play. Excellent job by this crew. Both the headlines and the line judge move at the snap and are in position to rule on any type of action involving the goal line here. Excellent job, crew, for officiating at the goal line. Another week's training video in the bag. Thanks for checking it out, guys. Here's the email address if you'd like to be added to our email list. Also the web address, www.aahso.com. Until next week, keep up the great work. Hope to see you on the field. Todd Allen with the Arkansas Association of High School Officials.